guys, it's Melanie, and today I have a worth the splurge for you on the PUR Cosmetics Cameo Contour Sticks. This is what they look like. You also get a really nice sponge with this product, and I'll talk a little bit more about the sponge here in a minute. But I did want to let you guys know that PUR Cosmetics did send this to me for consideration, so thank you to PUR Cosmetics. And I was really excited to receive these because I've been really hesitant to use cream contour products because my skin type is very oily. And for me in the past, when I have tried cream products on my face, they have honestly just not been a good fit for me because they either slide right off my face, or they oxidize and turn orange, or they just don't wear well. And since I don't wear liquid foundations, it's also really hard to put a powder foundation over top most cream products. However, with the Cameo contour sticks, I can totally use my regular powder foundation over top, and it works beautifully. So I'm going to show you guys a demo towards the end of this video, so don't worry, you'll see how I apply this product in an actual demonstration. So what you get when you buy the Cameo contour sticks is you obviously get your stick. These are dual-ended, so you have the contour on one side and the highlight on the other. So this is the color light. This is the one that really is the most natural fit for me for every single day. But I can also get away with the medium. The medium is just a little bit darker on the contour end. Let me show you guys that. And I will do swatches of these as well. And just a hair darker on the, sorry, I'm doing it wrong. Doing it backwards. Just a hair darker on the highlight end. So there's the two there and there. I'm going to show you guys swatches really quickly. So this first one that I'm going to show you is the light, which is the one that I wear the most. So this is the light, obviously contour on the top. It's a really neutral contour color. It's not too orange, it's not too taupey, so it's not super ashy and it's not super orangey either. This is going to be the medium, which I can also pull off, so I'll go ahead and put that right here. So you can see it's definitely a step up in color. But both of these I have used, and they both work beautifully for my really fair skin. I do have to be a little bit more careful with the contour on the medium, but I only use this when I'm looking for a much more intense contour, if that makes sense. Now, I feel like the consistency of this product is so friendly for especially an oily skin type because it dries to a powder finish. Like, this is already mostly dry at this point. It's still, you can still work with it, but you really, once you get it on the skin, you want to work it in and get it blended immediately because it does dry to that powder finish. Not super quickly, but definitely, like, you don't have like a ton of time to work with it. So don't like draw on your face and then leave it to sit for like a couple minutes because you're gonna have a harder time to blend it out afterwards, if that makes sense. I definitely utilize the sponge for the blending portion, and I'll show you exactly how I use this in the demo, but this sponge is fantastic, you guys. I know a lot of people love the Beauty Blender. I would say that this sponge here, I have felt a Beauty Blender. I've never actually used it on my face, but I've felt it when it's wet, and the consistency honestly seems very similar to this. This is incredibly soft, really easy to work with on your skin. It doesn't tug. It's very, very bouncy, and I love the fact that it has this flat side here. So by the way, here's a dry one and then here's the wet one. This has obviously been used, so it is dirty, but you can see that flat side there. That really helps to like get into areas like underneath your eye. This is absolutely wonderful, you guys. I would say that I honestly love the sponge just as much as I love the contour stick itself. together, they're absolutely amazing. I do use a brush to do my contour portion, but I use this to do the highlight and to also blend out the contour. This is honestly one of the nicest sponges that I've ever felt next to the Beauty Blender. So it's really nice that for the price you get both in the kit. They're also nice enough to provide you with a little face chart. So if you are not quite sure how to contour, this gives you a guide to look at. I don't do the extreme contouring that they show here. I really prefer a much lighter look to my highlight and my contour. You can certainly amp it up and, you know, draw it directly onto your face. I like to apply the product to the brush or the blender first and then put it on my face. But again, that's just a personal preference thing. But they do give you this nice step-by-step guide on how to do it. Honestly, you guys, this is a really, really great cream contour product. Again, I have always been really hesitant in the past to do the cream contour thing because my skin is so oily that things either slide right off or they oxidize and they just look terrible. This wears super, super well because it dries down to a really nice matte finish. It doesn't turn orange on me. It just looks really, really natural. I honestly think these are probably some of the best contour sticks out there. I think this would also really work well with drier skin, although I would definitely put on a good moisturizer first. I think that if you are used to cream products, this is not a super creamy product. Because it does dry down to that powder finish, it has a different feel to it when you're working with it, but I do think that someone with dry skin could also use this product and make it work for them. But for us oily skin girls, like, I feel like this is the product for us. So overall, huge worth the splurge for me. I'm going to go ahead and go into the demo now and show you guys how I apply the product. So hopefully this has been helpful for you guys. Guys, so let's get started with the demo. So I do already have my primer down on my skin. I don't have my powder foundation on yet, but my primer consists of the Paula's Choice Resist Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense with 2 drops of the custom cover drops from Cover FX. I use these in the color G20. We'll link both of these guys down below for you if you're interested in them. But let me show you how I choose to apply the PUR Cameo contour stick. So the first thing that I do is use the highlighting side, and I don't like an extreme highlight. I realize that that is really kind of the in thing to do, but I prefer a much more subtle highlight. So I like to take the sponge and take the product directly from the stick. And just rub it on there, get a nice even amount, and then I take that underneath my eyes. And I just work that into my skin by pressing it, not rubbing it. But hopefully you can see that that brings just a little bit of lightness to that area there. This isn't heavy at all. It's really actually fairly lightweight despite being a cream product. Do that on the other side really quickly. The sponge is nice because it's so gentle on your skin. It really doesn't tug in any kind of way, and it just feels really nice. So remember, I'm also going to be putting powder foundation on top of this. So this highlight is actually underneath my powder foundation, so it's going to look even more subtle by the time that I put the powder foundation over top. Again, that's just my preferred look. I know that a lot of people prefer a much more intense highlight. That's just not for me. So then take a little bit more and go down the center of my nose. Make sure that it doesn't look cakey or heavy. A little bit on the center of the forehead. Notice I didn't put any more on. And then a little bit on my chin. So that's the highlight portion. It might look a little bit weird right now. For the contour portion, I, twist the stick up, and then I use a brush actually to apply that. And I'm using the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I just take the product directly from the stick. So I have it on there. I do tap off a little bit of the excess. I have a towel in front of me here, and I'm just taking a little bit of that excess off because I don't like a crazy strong contour either. I know I'm kind of a wimp when it comes to this stuff, but I like to look a little bit more natural versus like super made up. I like that made up look sometimes, but for every day, especially since I'm going to Costco today, I don't want to look like a nutball. So I go ahead and I move my hair, and I start at the top of my ear, and I sort of tap it on, and then start wiping it on and blending it in. I really like this for a very natural look. For my contour, I like to come about to where the outer part of my eye is here. So if I follow that down, that's where I like to really end the contour. You can certainly go in a lot further. You can go down and really like define and make yourself look a little bit thinner by putting a line down here. You can have it kind of curve around your cheek. Do whatever works for you in terms of contour. I'm going to take a little bit more. There's lots of different techniques. Again, take off the excess, and then proceed to put that around my hairline as well. It just sort of helps to tie it all together. Okay. Then I'm going to contour side of my nose here, and then I'll let you see what it looks like non-contoured compared to the contoured side. So for my contour for my nose, I'm using the Flower E01 brush. You can find Flower Cosmetics at Walmart. Again, I take off some of that excess, and then I just go down just the side of my nose. It's not a super thin line, but it's a pretty thin line. Okay. Then I'm going to go back in with the highlighting side, and I'm going to clean up the contour just a little bit. Again, I just put it directly onto the sponge. I'm going to go underneath and just tidy that up a little bit. A little bit more. I'm going to go around the outer portion here. And that's it. So that is what the contour stick looks like on one side of my face here versus not using it. So you can see it's definitely very natural. Here's without, here's with. Powder foundation is going over top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup and then show you guys what this looks like once I put my powder foundation over top. So I'll be back to show you that in just a second. Alright guys, here is the finished look once I have my powder foundation over top. So you can see that it definitely tones it down just a little bit more. Again, this is a look that I would wear basically almost on like a daily basis. I feel like the Cameo contour sticks really do an amazing job of providing you with the most natural contour and highlight. You can certainly amp this up a little bit, but for me, I like that more natural look on days where I'm just running errands or just you know, hanging around the house and maybe like only leaving to like go to the post office or something. Like, this is definitely something that I feel very confident in, and I feel like it polishes my face up and makes me look a little bit more defined than I do without putting on a contour product. So these guys are a huge worth of splurge for me. Very happy to have been able to try them out, and when I run out of the light one, I will absolutely be repurchasing it, because it definitely, like, it's become a regular part of my makeup application, and I just really have been enjoying it. So thanks a lot for watching. Leave me any questions down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.